in India, they keep on boasting that they are good in math. They are in the land of geniuses and they are toppers in science. But if we see the list of Nobel laureates, we hardly see any Indian names over there. I mean, US has about 300 Nobel Prizes in maths and science. UK has about 92 and Japan has about 22. And there are hardly any Indians over there in the same list.
So actually, if you see, that's an interesting observation. If you see the Nobel list, in sciences particularly, you have just a handful of names. You have C.V. Raman, or you have Subramaniam Chandrasekhar, or you have Hargobind Khurana. They also, actually, they did their research in the Western labs, or they were the ones who actually studied out of their country because they needed funding which could actually support their mistakes, their failures, so that they could innovate.
So, Rubal, you're saying that the Indians are good in math, but that is just for the entrance exams or the school exams. They don't actually create a kind of a breakthrough which is required for global recognition.
Oh, that's interesting. See, that's an uncomfortable truth which we can't deny, because the Indian education, particularly in the sciences, prepares you in a rote learning method, which is primarily about making you used to or very well familiarized with the steps of mathematical equations or the patterns in science, so that you have the speed, you have the accuracy, you can repeat your algorithms, you can kind of apply your formula quickly. But when it comes to, let's say, becoming critical thinkers, that's where you have a backseat. You could be great calculators, but not exactly critical thinkers, not exactly the scientific innovators.
Didn't scientists like Raman, Bose, Chandrasekhar, they made the world-class contributions? Weren't they critical thinkers?
Let's go one by one. So C.V. Raman, he worked on the scattering of light in physics. So that's exactly all about observing the light patterns, so decoding the patterns, not exactly coming out with something out of the blue or out of thin air. If you look at S.N. Bose, he also reframed the Planck's law. He recognized the inconsistencies in Planck's law and he reworked them. So he also needed an available mixture to really come out with a changed pattern of an already existing pattern. And if you look at Hargobind Khurana, he deciphered genetic code, but again, that was the game of patiently observing. It required discipline, deciphering the pattern again, but not exactly creating a new framework or making a leap out of nothing. Or if you look at Subramaniam Chandrasekhar, he worked on the extended equations in astrophysics, but again, he needed the equations which should be pre-existing, which should be present there. So that's more like you're creating Maggi noodles, but you need the ready-made masala beforehand. So we can't really call it critical thinking.
So what is critical thinking according to you?
So critical thinking, not just according to me, but also if you go by the definition of it, it is your ability to radically question the present. It is about creating absolute new frameworks which do not exist. It's about proving your assumptions in a way that is unprecedented at that point. But the Indian way is more inductive, which means that we are created in such a way, our educational ideology is about making us habitual to, let's say, thinking in a particular order, in a particular direction, but not really, it's not evaluative. It's not something by which we can be paradigm challengers.
So you're saying that Indians are actually not critical thinkers, they are more of like patterners?
Oh, see, I'm afraid to say that. I wouldn't say that's true, but I would just say that it's incomplete, because when we call ourselves the genius, or we call ourselves very good with math, or India has produced geniuses using its educational philosophy, that's like we are distracting ourselves to the truth. We do have strong mathematical foundational skill, which helps us in coding or IT or finance. But when it comes to the 21st century inventions, discoveries, and innovations, maybe we have to learn to think more critically. For more education and parenting insights, follow us. All the best.
All the best.